viewers. My name is Gift Sakan, Dr. Gift Sakan, the CS for Manyinga Town Council Chair. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, Honorable Chair. Good evening to the members of this committee. Good evening to the permanent witnesses. My name is Shala Mshala. I'm the Director Planning at Manyinga Town Council.
Honorable Chair, good evening. Good evening, honorable members of Parliament. Good evening to the witnesses. My name is Engineer Namiruko. I'm the Director Engineering for Manyinga Town Council. I thank you.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, honorables, and good evening, colleagues. My name is Liki Mwinde, Director Finance, Manyinga Town Council.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, public accounts members, permanent witnesses. My name is Leford Mwene, Internal Auditor, Manyinga Town Council.
Thank you so much, Officer of the Internal Auditor General, sorry.
Thank you, Chair. Good evening, honorable members. Good evening, Council Secretary and your team. My name is Patricia Malaila, Director from Office of the Auditor General in charge of Northwestern Province. I'll allow my colleagues, Chair, to introduce themselves.
Please.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, honorable members. Good evening, CS and the team. I'm Suira Eddy, Principal Auditor, Sorwezi Audit Office.
Good evening. My name is Luinda Sinyani from the Planning and Research Department in the Office of the Auditor General.
Ministry of Finance.
Good evening, Chair, and good evening, honorable members of Parliament. Good evening, Manyinga. My name is Jeff Ansiame from the Office of Control of Internal Audit, Ministry of Finance.
Good evening, Chair. My name is Stanley Mwimba from the Ministry of Finance.
Secretariat.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, honorable members. Good evening, Manyinga Town Council. Maxwell Cheka is my name from the Office of the Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. Manyinga Town Council, you're welcome. My name is Emmanuel Walia from the Office of the Clerk.
Honorable Member for Angango.
Thank you so much, Chair. Good evening to you. Evening, fellow honorable members of Parliament. Good evening, our permanent witnesses. Good evening, Manyinga Town Council. Evening, our viewers and the listeners out there. I'm Luhamba Mwene, a Member of Parliament for Mangango Conference. And I'm a member on this committee. Thank you.
Honorable Member for Mfumbwe.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Good evening, everyone. And we would also want to welcome you, Manyinga Council. You are welcome to your committee. My name is Elliot Kamondo. I'm Member of Parliament from Mfumbwe constituency.
Kaumbwe.
Good evening, Chair, permanent witnesses, and welcome Manyinga to your committee. I'm Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe constituency in Petaukye district of the Eastern Province. Thank you.
Good evening, the honorable members, our permanent witness. Our witness, my name is Christopher Shakafuswa, Member of Parliament for Mandevu constituency here in Lusaka, and my constituency is where you are, so you are welcome to Mandevu constituency. I'm the Vice Chairperson of the committee and privileged to chair this session. I now, on behalf of the committee, wish to invite you to make your presentation of the memorandum.
Thank you, Chair. Good evening once again. Allow me, Chair, with your indulgence, to go through the memorandum on the report of the Auditor General on the audit of the Council Operations Accounting of Manyinga Town Council for the financial year ended 31st December 2023. Chair, on the Auditor General item, Chair, it is on 82, which Manyinga Town Council appeared. And some of the items that were cited, Chair, is on 82.1, specific audit findings, which is A, Budget, Income and Expenditure Chair. Chair, just by like with your authority, if you allow me to go straight to the management response and to answer the queries that were raised.
Yes, go to the management response, which is cause of the query, action taken, and the remedy measures.
Thank you much obliged, Chair. The cause of query. Management acknowledges the finding by the auditor. The local authority collected 75.2% of the budgeted local revenue for 2023. The notable under collection stream from fees and charges were only 562,209 was collected out of the budgeted 1,318,384 kwacha. However, Chair, management at the time of budgeting anticipated that the Ministry of Lands would disburse the second consignment of the Land Development Fund, Chair, which is in Appendix 1, which was meant to provide for water in the new Boma area where the council projects are located. However, Chair, the delay approval and findings of the in the other revenue type. Action taken, Chair. Management has since received approval from the Ministry of Lands for the LDF and the works are ongoing. Additionally, the end of 2024. See Appendix 2, some of the projects that were repossessed from the owners, Chair, have also been which they never paid for, have also been attached in Appendix 3. The major Chair, management to be as realistic in the budgeting process. On number number 2, Chair, failure to achieve performance output target. Chair, I go straight to management response, cause of query. Management acknowledges the findings of the auditor on number of the approved outputs, despite some not being accurately reported. A table is here with, Chair, attached with a detailed management response for each identified output target. Refer to Table 4. Management wishes to state that failure to achieve output targets is largely as a result of limited resources from the Council. Action taken, Chair. Maninga Town Council has since revised output for the subsequent annual budgets to make them more smart. E.g. output like number of plots created which were captured last time have been changed to number of layout plans created, which has been attached in Appendix 5. The Table 4, Chair, is there on Maninga Town Council 2023 Budget Performance Assessment. Remedial measure, Chair. Management shall continue to monitor individual and departmental performance to ensure that state targets are achieved in timely manner. The other query, Chair, compliance with registration and regulations. Item number 1, the numeral 1, lack of revenue database, detailed register of revenue sources. Management response, Chair, the cause of query. Management acknowledges the finding by the auditor. Management wishes to state that at the time of audit, a detailed register of revenue source had not been provided and only a high summarized revenue register was provided, only indicating the numbers of the different business types that were there. Action taken, Chair. Management has since developed a revenue database which has been attached in Appendix number 6. Remedial measure. Management has since instructed the assistant accountant to manage and update the revenue register which is attached in Appendix 6. Management has also committed to facilitating the opening of Google Sheet where an automated revenue database will be updated and managed by multiple offices. This is going to help us. Then the other query, Chair, failure to avail bulk petroleum storage license for Zesco Limited and Tribute Filling Station. I'll go straight, Chair, to management response on the cause of query. Management acknowledges the finding by the auditor. However, management has only been collecting 5,200 kwacha annually from the filling station as a bulk storage, see Appendix 8, as opposed to the 13,500 kwacha prescribed, which was prescribed in the report. Kindly note that ZESCO does not have an office in Manyinga, but is in the process of constructing one. Chair, the query indicated that ZESCO was also not query, was not being made to pay, but ZESCO is not around at the moment, as has been discussed. Action taken, Chair. The local authority has since written to the named filling station for the balance of the prescribed bulk storage amounting, which it is owing. Chair, the Appendix 9 is showing on the same letter that was written. Remedial measure, the local authority will always legally recognize institutions storing fuel in which are in bulk. It's between 200 liters to 22,700 liters are inspected and levied appropriately for bulk sources of storage. The next query, Chair, is failure to withhold and remit value-added tax, that's VAT. I'll go straight to the cause of query. Management acknowledges the finding by the auditor and wishes to accept that the Council has not been withholding and remitting VAT. Action taken. Management has since issued a notice to VAT-paying suppliers of goods and services to inform and sensitize them of the development to concretize the resolution referred to Appendix 10, Chair, for information. Remedial measure taken. The local authority will ensure that going forward on all VAT inclusive contracts, tax is withheld and remitted to ZRA. Chair, the next cause of query, weakness in land management, that is on 1, failure to fully service plots on offer. Chair, I'll go straight to the cause of query. Management acknowledges the finding by the auditor. The aforementioned plots were beacon surveyed and facilitation of ZESCO connection has been done, while the provision of water was not done owing to limited fundings. Action taken. The local authority applied to the Minister of Lands for the Land Development Fund to extend the water network in the New Boma area where the plots were generated, which has since been approved, and the letter of approval of payment, Chair, is attached in Appendix 1. And the service provider, Northwestern Water and Sanitation Company, under checking the project. Remedial measure. The local authority will endeavor to prioritize the provision of key services in newly opened areas so as to ensure that construction and infrastructure development are expedited in the district. The next query, Chair, is building of a structure in the road reserve. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the finding by the auditor and wishes to confirm that there is a building that was constructed in the road reserve. The building mentioned is one that was built by the contractor of 10 medium-cost houses under the Ministry of Infrastructure to be used as temporary housing for the building foreman and storage of construction material. Action taken, Chair. The contractor has been served with an enforcement notice that is in Appendix 11, which will be enforced as soon as one of the houses is able to be used for storage of construction materials. Currently, the house is being used to keep the material for the construction. Remedial measure. The local authority will intensify on development, control and enforcement of regulations for developers of government infrastructure. Chair, this leads me to the cross-cutting issues. Appendix 1 on audit opinion. Chair, I'll go straight to the management response. Remedial measure. Management wishes to state that it will continue to prepare financial statement according to the financial regulations. Appendix 2, Chair, on budget, funding and expenditure. I'll go to the cause of query. Management acknowledges the findings of the Auditor General. Management wishes to state that most of the unspent funds were funds that the projected projects of fish farming and conversion of the old civic center to a lodge. Action taken. The projects commenced in the year 2024 and the Council has since made the first harvest of fish, and the council bar is currently running. Attached, Chair, is Appendix 12 in the report. The major measure, management shall ensure to adhere to approved council budget and expedite the commencement of planned projects. Appendix 3, Chair, failure to collect the revenue. I'll go straight to the cause of query. Management acknowledges the finding by the auditor. The query was caused by failure to collect the revenue from successful plot applicants. Action taken. Management had previously maintained a lenient approach to plot owners in the area owing to the fact that plots were not fully serviced. But following the approval of the LDFC as attached in Appendix 1 and the development of a water rectification system in surrounding area, management has changed the approach and commenced repossession of plots which were not fully paid for. Chair, we have attached that appendix in Appendix 3. The major measure, management will provide water provision in the newly opened areas to spur plot development and collection of plot fees and charges that continue to servicing the plots and possessing plots which are not fully paid. Appendix 15, Chair, over employment of staff. I go straight to the query. Management acknowledges the finding by the auditor, but wishes to indicate that the said position has only one officer. Action taken. The officer deemed to have been a permanent and pensionable officer was actually only intending at the local authority and has since left. Appendix 13, Chair, in case on the letter of internship for the person that was queried. The major measure, management shall continue following the staff establishment and also engage the Local Government Service Commission whenever need arises. Appendix 16, failure to fill vacant positions. Cause of query, failure to fill vacant positions. Action taken. Management agrees with the finding by the auditor. However, we wish to state that management wrote to the Local Government Service Commission to have the vacant positions filled, and we have attached this appendix, Chair, of our correspondences in appendix number 14. The major measure, management shall continue following the staff establishment and also engage the Local Government Service Commission when need arises. Appendix number 23, failure to provide waste bins, receptacles and fenced dump site. Cause of query. Failure to provide waste bins, receptacles and fenced dump site was due to limited revenue at the time. Action taken. Management has since procured waste receptacles. See pictures below, Chair. For the fencing of dump site was moved to 2026 due to limited resources. Remedial measure. Management will endeavor to ensure that the solid waste management programs are funded, more so in light of the added government funding to local authorities. Appendix number 27, failure to install and maintain street lights. Cause of query. Failure to install and maintain street lights was due to limited resources, causing the maintenance of street lights not to be budgeted for. Action taken, Chair. Management acknowledges the finding by the auditor. The local authority has since allocated funding for maintenance and provision of additional street lights. See Appendix 15. The major measure, management shall continue adhering to the provisions of the approved annual budget. Appendix 26, 28, Chair, failure to settle outstanding statutory and other obligations. Cause of query. The query was caused by failure to settle outstanding statutory and other obligations owing to the council not having sufficient funds to honor all its obligations as they fall due. Action taken. Management acknowledges the findings by the auditor and will continue to liquidate the obligations as per the approved council budget. The council has been making payments towards dismantling outstanding obligations. See Appendix 16. Remedial measure. Management shall adhere to certain statutory obligations and staff obligations. To aid in this, management has also embarked on revenue enhancement by selling plots and undertaking capital ventures such as the Manyinga Town Council Fish Farming and the Council Bar. Appendix number 29, failure to settle staff obligations. Cause of query, failure to settle staff obligation. Action taken, Chair. Management acknowledges the finding by the auditor. The council did not have sufficient funds to honor all the obligations as they fell due. However, the local authority has continued to liquidate some of the obligations. See Appendix number 17. The major measure, management shall adhere to certain statutory obligations and staff obligations. To aid in this, in the same way, Chair, we have also responded that we also, with the capital project that we are undertaking, will help settle and liquidate some of the obligations, Chair, which is also the fish farm and also the plots that are going to be created. Appendix number 30, misapplication of funds. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the observation by the auditor. Due to limited resources from local revenue, the local authority could not sustain its operational cost and therefore was made to use the capital component of the local government equalization fund on council operations. We have attached this appendix here on number 18. Action taken. The local authority has commenced with the brought forward projects like aquaculture and conversion of the old civic center. The lodge referred to picture 1 above, which was there. I think let me just the picture is there. Yes, the picture is there. Action taken. So on the major measure, going forward, management shall by all means implement capital projects as planned.
Where is the picture, Council Secretary, that you are referring?
Apologies, Chair, the picture should be page 10. The picture, Chair, is on page 10. Page 10. I'm sure in the report should be 18. Check on 18. Page 10. Because I have it here on.
Page what?
Mine is showing 18. On page 10, I'm told.
Page 18, we have West Bin.
No, should be page 10. Page 10. Where is page 13? You have seen it, Chair?
For the bar?
Yes, Chair.
Okay.
This is our small bar, Chair. Appendix 33. Failure to establish firefighter services. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the findings by the auditor. However, the Local Government Service Commission in the letter dated 23 August 2023 guided that it will redistribute the firefighters from the councils which has excess. See Chair in appendix number 19. Action taken. Management is adhering to the guidance given by the Local Government Service Commission. The major measure, management shall continue to engage the Local Government Service Commission when need arises. Chair, this marks the end of my report. I submit, Chair.
Thank you so much. Points of clarifications from the honorable members. Yes, Honorable Kamondo. Honorable Mwene.
Thank you so much, Chair. Let me take the CS to page 19. Failure to settle staff obligations, 953,569 kwacha. At the same time, maybe I can, Chair, in the interest of time, coin this question of Appendix 29 with the one on Appendix 28, failure to settle outstanding stated obligations, 5,540,731 kwacha. Says in a bullet form of my question, when do you think you can settle these staff obligations? 1, 2. The same question on the stated obligations. When do you think you can settle? What payment plans have you put in place for you to settle this? I know you have talked about coming up with this venture, that venture, but I know when you have come up with those business ventures, definitely they are projected incomes from those businesses. So when do you think you are going to liquidate your statutory obligations as well as the staff obligations? I submit, Chair.
Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Member, for that question. Indeed, we're employed, we are all potential retirees, meaning at some point also retire. And that's actually one of the things that is also at the core of Manyinga Town Council, to ensure that we liquidate most of these obligations. With the retirees, Chair, in our budget for 2025, there's an amount that has been allocated just to help liquidate these obligations, and that also leads to the same with ZRA and NAPSA, and also with these others that are there like the NIMA. Currently we are still paying the principal, and we are also with that budget plan that we have, the payment plan, to ensure that we continue to liquidate the backlog that is there. And like we said, I think one of the issues that we have also ventured in is looking at our small council. How do we generate resources? We have to think outside the box by coming up with some innovation of coming up with a fish farm, and also the bar, and also the sale for the plots. We are hopeful that this year we might settle much of these obligations once the plots actually have been sold, all of them.
Yes, Honorable Mene.
Thank you so much. I needed the Chair a time frame, which has not been availed. Maybe you can give a time frame. And also, the next question. Manyinga has got a very good rainfall. Why didn't you venture also into agriculture? Because it's one of your roles as councils to boost up the agriculture sector and invest into that. This can really give you very good monies. Why did you think of also investing into maybe cultivation of maize and other cash crops? I submit, Chair.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Regarding the time frame, I will give it to my Director of Finance on how we can finish especially on the statutory obligations. Of course, we may not manage everything, but we'll be able to do what we can, looking at the sources of our resources that are coming. We are just getting a little from timber and also from the charges and fees, and that is one we are also trying to do that. Then on the other venture, Chair, actually, as if you are reading my mind, because this is one of the issues that we have been discussing, where we have our fish farm, actually, which is a very good farm, where in the next, actually, we are planning to undertake other activities that will help support, actually, the council, instead of only depending on the national support, but we also need to be reliable and also self-sustainable in terms of resource mobilization. Chair, we have taken note that guidance and also the encouragement from the Honorable Member. Chair, maybe allow DF to come in through, Chair.
Before I allow DF, you submitted that you have set aside some funds in the 2025 budget. How much is that? And where is it in your report?
Chair, maybe just I'll refer that question to Director of Finance, but the amount is about 800 something thousand that we had set aside in the 2025 national budget, just to help liquidate some of the statutory obligation that we have.
Director of Finance.
Thank you, Chair. Regarding when we intend to liquidate the debt, Chair, it's a bit tricky that at the same time we are liquidating, we are also accumulating more debts. For instance, 2024, we had one retiree, and we lost two other colleagues. Meaning these three, we increased the debt to by about 3 million. So this 2025 budget, we planned to liquidate about 850, which is less than what we accumulated in 2024. However, with the introduction of this fish farm, and also the idea brought in by the Honorable Member for Mangango. If we expand, maybe by 2026, because going by the aquaculture program, we intended to clear the debt by 2026. Now with the inclusion of those debts we accumulated in 2024, we need to extend the period from 2026. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable member from Fumbwe.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I take you to page 15. Page 15, which is the Appendix 2, Budget Finding and Expenditure. I just have a few questions. I want to say that Manyinga has taken a very good position to make sure that they go into aquaculture, where they've gone into fish farming, which seems to be like a very lucrative business. The money that was unspent, according to this, is the money which remained from the two projects. And the two projects, maybe let me just read for the sake of those that are listening. Course of query: management acknowledges the findings of the Auditor General. Management wishes to state that most of the unspent funds were funds tied to the projected project of fish farming and the conversion of the old civic center to a lodge. So there are two projects here. Now, through you, Chair, when I was going through the appendix that has been referred to, I didn't find how much was spent in total, though there are some tabulations in total, even for the sake of those that may wish to go into fish farming. I'd like to find out from CS how much money, what was the total cost for this project of fish farming. I don't want to go into the bar, but this for fish farming. And also you have also alluded to the fact that this business venture has started yielding actually some fruits, because they have already harvested some fish. And also, if you can also extend to tell the people of Manyinga how much you realized from the sale of the first harvest of fish. Also, when we go to Appendix 12, you have not shown clearly. Let's go to page 2. I'm sure maybe this one starts from the farm structure. Then we go to procurement of fingerlings, wages, feed, pond renovation. I think that is the last segment. And you have tabulated on the procurement of fingerlings. You just indicated Kasumpa General Dealers, 32,200. Tisola Richard, 3.2. Kaponda Lota, 4,600. Chilemo Benedit, 4,600. Mwinde Liki, 12,501.6. Then Chomba Iron, 1,050. The total is 58. What I would like to know from you, ACS, what was paid for in these tabulations, and where are the payment vouchers to show exactly that indeed these monies were spent on these segments, and also they said people received this money, and like I said earlier on, what was the total cost for all this project? I think I end there.
Thank you. Yes, witness, you may respond. Let him respond and then we get yours.
Thank you, Chair. I take that observation by the Honorable Member of Parliament for Mfumbwe regarding the issue of the tabulation. Chair, on the 32, which is showing the Chasumpa General Dealers, this is where they are getting, should be the feed. Chair, on this one, allow me to ask the Director of Finance to elaborate more on this one so that we inform the House accordingly, Chair. I thank you.
Yes, Director of Finance.
Thank you, Chair. Chisumpa General Dealers is the supplier of fingerlings, the actual cost of the fingerlings, which was 1 kwacha 50 ngwe each. Chisola Richard and the rest, there were allowances for officers who were sent to go and be oriented before collecting the fingerlings, because the process, Chair, is you need to know the numbers, though you can't know exactly, but there's a formula that is used. So we sent people like 2 days before collection so that they count together with the supplier and allow them to rest. You condition the fingerlings before moving them. So from Chisola to Ian Chomba, these were allowances, and total is coming to 58. The allowances were attached to the procurement of fingerlings because it was direct cost to the procurement of fingerlings. How Mfumbwe? Honorable, we spent close to 200 something. Unfortunately, we didn't sum up. We just broke them down as per activity. Manyinga didn't spend much on the construction because the ponds were already there. It was just a matter of renovation. The high cost is on a fixed asset like the housing, the house for workers, the fencing, and also the feed. I should also mention that this feed cost extends to the other batch of fish. We first stocked 200,000. I mean 22,000. Then after harvesting, we stocked again 36,000. So this cost of feed is not only on the 22,000, it also gets to 36,000. So if we had completed the P&L, which is profit and loss account, which is an attachment to the financial statements, I think it would have clearly shown how much is allocated to the 22,000 alone and the rest to the 36,000. I submit, Chair.
Yes, a follow-up?
Yes, I had actually asked that if you read here, on the action taken, the project commenced in the year 2024, and the council has since made the first harvest of fish. I don't want to go to the bar. So the other part has been answered. However, the information that DF is giving us may not help this committee, because this is a very good project which we have been sitting here and we've been urging actually other councils to go into ventures like this, whether it is agriculture, aquaculture, any source of agriculture which can bring revenue. And Manyinga is one of those councils which council is struggling actually in terms of the revenue basis. So if Manyinga would be very open to give us whether this is a profitable, because there is no way we can put a lot of money into a business and then we end up actually running into a loss. It is as good as not doing it. And also it's a learning process so that even other councils, they can go and venture into this. For your information, actually, Chairperson, the fish in all the rivers now, in Northwestern, most of them actually have been depleted. Going into this venture, would make them a lot of money. Now, here comes Manyinga, which has got a lot of water. They come up with a brilliant thing. But now, Manyinga Council doesn't want to come out to tell us the truth. How much was invested? Even the first harvest, they've told us. But there's nothing that they're telling us. Even the vouchers, actually, to show that these monies were spent because we are interested. These are monies which are involved. And also, you would agree with me that we have questioned most of the councils that they need to provide the vouchers. That is very good evidence. If at all they are not there, we need to have them. So I thought maybe, CS, you can elaborate further on that one. This is a learning process. We would like to know what you are doing so that other councils can learn from it.
So, CS, how much did you spend on the project? Where is this evidence in terms of bank statements? How much did you realize from the first sale of fish? That is what the honourable member is asking.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Honourable Member, for that question. Allow me to bring in the auditor to help on the vouchers and also DF on how much was realized. Thank you, Chair.
Who wants to start?
Chair, may I be allowed to start? May I start by mentioning the projection? When we stocked 22,000, we projected to harvest at least 20,000 due to unknown or unforeseen circumstances. Unfortunately, we harvested close to 15,000. We suspect these predators may be also stealing and the like. From the 15,000, we projected that 4 fish will make a kg, and a kg will be selling at 65 kwacha. So in terms of marketing, we scored. There's no fish that went to waste. In terms of numbers, we failed. From 22, we harvested something like close to 15,000. In terms of price, we sold at the estimated price. So in the exact amount that was made, I should admit there was an oversight. We didn't foresee that coming. What was in our mind was to show that this money was spent on this project. However, Chair, if allowed, from here we can still share that information with our Secretariat, if you allow.
From your report, where is it that you are showing us that this money was spent on this project, in terms of evidence?
Chair, we just did the breakdown on Appendix 12. And unfortunately, the few vouchers that were put as samples, it's like all of them are leading us to the bar.
So in short, you are saying there is no evidence, isn't it?
Yeah, for the fish, I think there is no voucher that is attached, only showing people harvesting. So, Chair, I admit there was an oversight on the part of business, fish farm, payment vouchers.
Auditor, you wanted to comment before I call in Dr. Mwanza?
Yeah, Chair, my comment is that on the payment vouchers in question, attached to the procurement of fish fingerings, I can safely assure you that these are pre-audited. The supporting documents to the same payment vouchers were attached, verified, and the payments were made. However, the same payment vouchers can be brought to this Secretariat at an appropriate time. They are very much available at the Council. I submit, Chair.
Did you post-audit the sale of fish?
Yes, Chair, I did.
How much was realized?
The first sales, we realized about 67,250. The second sales was 52,320. In total, it went up to 153,000 somewhere there, Chair.
You have
Those
this
records,
documentation?
those records, they can be submitted to this committee, Chair, at appropriate time. It's only that when you came, we didn't attach them here.
Dr. Manza?
Sure.
Okay, on the same. Appendix 12 is answering to the unspent money on page 15. The unspent money of 404,522 is explained through the expenditure on fish farming and the bar. When I look at the totals, what you spent on the fish farm was 239,963.25, and what you spent on the bar was 222,918. Add the two figures is 469,881.25, which is 65,259.25 above the unspent funds that were in the account. You need an explanation as to how you overrun the budget, how you overshoot the budget, and the source of the 65,000. The second question is, just like other honorable members have talked about payment for fish farming, you know, you have elaborated that you haven't brought the vouchers, but the vouchers that you have showed on appendix 12 are relating to the bar. Now, I want to learn, this payment voucher is just an intention, is just an authority from the controlling officer to say go ahead and pay. So the question is, where are the vouchers, payment vouchers for the people that provided the services for renovating the bar? Are they paid or not? I can give an example, just one voucher. You check what it says, what it reads. Just at the bottom, the first voucher, which is the payee is Mutondo Wakwenda Enterprises. The amount was 480 kwacha. Appendix 12. So the payment voucher, the payee, yes, is Mutondo Enterprises, but there is no space for Mutondo Enterprise to sign. And the last comment, I Council Treasurer, confirms that funds are available to effect payment and hereby authorize this payment. So is this proof that the funds were paid to Mutondo Mutondo Enterprise? While waiting for that answer, the expenses, assuming that these are the monies that were remitted, the total cost is 229,918, and the last page of appendix 12 shows also some recurrent expenditures that the council incurred, which came to total 153,772. Of particular interest is serial number 6, procurement of bar stock. You spent 42,261. But I see the same payment, and when I look at these vouchers, there is voucher number 2, which is procurement of refreshment. You bought this from Just Chris Enterprise, and the amount was 3441. Then the other one was Pepper Joe Company. You bought beers at 38,821. When I add these two vouchers, they come to exact amount of 42,000, which is tabulated in the last. So this is a double entry. Why did you put this as a double entry? Also, we are much interested in the fish farming because it increases our nutritional values. How many fish ponds are we talking about in Manyinga, or is it one site? And when you look at the ledger, the expense, just like the honorable member said, you find that the total cost for the fish farm is very difficult to establish based on these expenses that you have tabulated, because you have tabulated farm structure. The total amount for farm structure is 69,322. 322. Yes, but here there are details of materials like bricks. You've spent 9,000. Then Tawile investment, you spent 6,000. Then there are individual names. Kantumea Ronald, you gave him 13,000. What is the relationship of this tabulation to this farm structure part of construction to the farm, to the fish pond? The same details, the same queries also. You go to the next tabulation, procurement of fingerlings. Kasumpa General Dealers, you bought for 32,200. Then from Chisola Richard, are we saying that all these are suppliers of fingerlings, and you bought these fingerlings, total amount that you spent was 58,151? Others are individuals like Chumba Ian, you spent 1,050, whilst some are companies, Chasumpa General Dealers. The same thing also with the wages are clear because they're just individual names. But the feed, they're different companies altogether. Also, they're different companies. You spent 86,393 on the feed. We're not disputing the amount, but the distribution to these companies, did you get fingerlings from all these fingering suppliers or not? You can answer those.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. It's a bulk question, of course. Yeah, I'll begin with where the fingerlings were purchased. I think we have different sources. When you look at the first table where the Honorable was referring to the Chisumpa, I think the DF labor to explain, this is where we bought the fingerlings for the first batch, which was 22,000. Then the Chisola, the Kaponda, these were the officers. When you look at what is there, the 3,200, the 4,600, these were allowances that were given as they had gone area to settle and ensure that the fish, the fingerlings, the people that are supposed to handle it, the fish, they're supposed to be trained. So the way they went ahead of that for them to be trained, and that's the money that was spent on their allowances. Then the other question, so many questions that. Okay, on the issue of the over expenditure, Honorable Member, allow me through the chair. Maybe the DF can explain how we had that and over expenditure on the same. I think that would be. I don't want to mislead the House. Thank you.
Yes, DF.
Chair, what the auditor raised is unspent monies, but we've not closed the project to only that unspent funds. we have told ourselves that whenever we have a bit of reserve funds, let's channel it towards this project. Actually, for us to stock, the other question was how many ponds are they? There are 17. So the target is by the end of this year is to stock all the 17. So if we just restrict ourselves to what was brought forward, the funds that were brought forward will not be able to move at the pace that we want to move. In the same year, 2024, there was an allocation, in addition to the 404 that was brought forward, there was an allocation towards the same fish farm. So that's the expenditure, the over expenditure, sir, that you've, Honorable, that you've seen there. Thank you.
You have 17 ponds in different locations.
No, just one area.
One area.
Yes.
So 17 ponds you are interested. What is the cost, average cost of one pond? And you didn't answer the question on you didn't answer the question on the double entry for restocking the bar, and also the payment voucher, because this to me doesn't show that the money was released to these companies. It was just a confirmation from the council secretary to say the funds are available, so prepare payment.
Yes, Jeff.
Thank you, Chair. These vouchers are system generated. It's only generated when we pay. If you look at the top part of the voucher on the left, it indicates the project, invoice number, bank account. So there's a bank account there showing where the money went, and then there's a payee. So in one of the vouchers that I have, payee Mtondo wa Kwenda, the account number where the money is coming from is indicated there, and the payee is indicated there. So this voucher is generated only when you pay. Before payment is just requisition and purchase order.
So what you are saying is you have not paid for the total that you've spent so far. That's why you have not attached the payment vouchers to show the evidence that you paid the unspent funds.
We have paid, Chair, like I said initially that I wish to tender in an apology. We didn't attach all the payment vouchers. It was going to be
That is what you are supposed to submit, not to tell us that these vouchers are system generated when you pay. Because they should have been part of this document.
I wanted to respond on the part where I said this is just an intention. It's only generated from the system when a payment is made.
No, sir. If you read your notes on your system, what you call system generated, right? It says I Council Treasurer confirms that funds are available to effect payment and hereby authorize this payment. It shows that it's an authority. The treasurer is authorizing, just to confirm that the funds are there, so you can go ahead to make payment. So we are looking forward to that voucher that you paid to these providers of the services that you have listed, like under rehabilitation of works, establishment of a counter, and so on and so forth.
CS, let's go to page 20. Appendix 13 is application of funds. 1.732,000. How much of this have you paid back? Page 20 of the report.
Thank you, Chair. I wish to submit that on this money that actually, which is being indicated here, we channeled some of it to the commercial project, Chair, that we have indicated, the fish farming, and also the bar, which we council intended to.
My very simple question, CS, is how much have you paid back? I didn't ask what has gone where. I asked how much of the 1.7 which was borrowed from projects, the capital account, which you didn't take there but borrowed. How much have you paid back towards this 1.7?
Thank you, Chair. Like I was explaining, I know I want the figure, which I'll come to that, Chair. I want just to lay my foundation, Chair, as I bring the figure, with your permission.
No, just answer the question. How much have you paid back?
Chair, as it stands, there is nothing that has been paid, especially like I was explaining, because some of the funds that were projected were supposed to go towards the capital projects like the fish farm and also the bar. So we have not paid anything in terms of paying back.
Honorable Mlunda.
You see, Council Secretary, you are making your life very difficult. The first question is how much have you paid back? We have not paid anything back. The second question is when do you intend to start paying back? Chair.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. I admit that I have not paid anything. That is the first question. The second question, Chair, in this year, like we have said, we want to enhance our capital project, especially on what we intend to do on the fish farming and also the bar, and with the sale of the plots, we anticipate that we have to pay anything that will be realized, I think, to liquidate that date. Thank you, Chair.
What projects were you supposed to undertake in this 1.7?
Chair, one of the project was the fish farming. The second one was supposed to be the bus station. And the bus station, we did not do it in 2024, but as we speak, Chair, the bus station, actually the activities are the works are underway. We have started doing on those works.
Honorable Mlunda.
To me, those are not good projects, Council Secretary. Just to counsel you, those are not good projects. When you talk about the bus station, it will still be you running it. Okay? Fish farming will still be you running it. And the benefits will start first coming to you before it goes to an ordinary person. This 20% capital component, it's just that it's no longer there. But it was supposed to go to an ordinary person out there. The mother's shelter, the crossing point, those small things that you can do out of that, things that will touch the lives of the people, not within. What we have seen, having been sitting on this committee for a very long time, what we have seen actually, a 20% component, council would either buy furniture for themselves, or they will construct a lodge, or they will do what. In the meantime, women out there sitting under the trees, when they come for health services in health facilities. So that money was meant to touch those areas. First and foremost, not you are using it within, your vicinity. No. So those are not good projects to us. It means that money is not addressing the needs of our people out there, people that are desperately looking for these services. Chair, I thought I should comment on that.
Thank you so much, Honorable Mlunda. I will adopt that as our concluding remarks and urge you, Manyinga Town Council, to prioritize service delivery. We know that most of you are now happy because of the government priority of increasing CDF, and you are thinking that is now what you should have been doing, yet your creation is to provide service delivery from your internally generated resources, from the levies that you collect. 5% is supposed to go back into the communities, the wards, to improve services. So we hope that you do better in terms of the queries that have been picked by Auditor General. For the payment vouchers to support the unspent funds, we ask that you provide that information with Secretariat tomorrow. We uplift the immunity given to you earlier, and we ask that you go back to Manyinga safely. Thank you so much.
Good evening. This is Parliament Television, and the Committee on Local Government Accounts has concluded its business for today. Remember, the committee had Manyinga Town Council as the last witness for today. So do join us tomorrow as we expect more witnesses to appear before the Committee on Local Government Accounts. I have been your presenter, Joa Katama, not forgetting my sign language interpreter, Chola Kaoma, and all the entire crew right here at Parliament Television. Have a pleasant good evening.
Honorable Engineer Rafa Mabenga, Member of Parliament for Mwabezi. I'm 68 years old. I'm married, got 7 children. Started school at Sejamba Primary School. From there I went to Bwina. From Bwina I went to Sesheke Secondary School. After Sesheke Secondary School I went to Copper Belt, which is called now Copper Belt University, to do engineering. From there I was sponsored by the British Council to go to UK to continue with the studies up to master's degrees. There when I finished, I worked for Ndola City Council for 12 years. I rose up to assistant city engineer. From Ndola I went to Botswana. I worked for the Botswana government as an advisor there, and